And we're live!
Riff.
Le Riff du Griff. Oh, we are so fancy in Paris. Yeah, what's my champagne? Yeah, so, man, F Paris, this was pretty fun. Huh? Did you guys have a favorite moment from the week?
Oh, man, favorite moment of the whole week? So I can do mine, but it's chilly.
Yeah.
My favorite moment was during Wednesday was at CC, and then at Paris started on, I don't know. Anyways, at Paris started on Friday. Yeah. Close. There's days are starting to blur together.
Right. Who cares about days of the week, man? Griffs don't care about days of the week.
Yeah. But yeah, at CC there was a really good talk. I get to the ETH magician. There was Boris did an AMA on ETH 1.x, and there was a lot of really good board discussion that was really cool to watch.
I thought Boris is always the highlight for me, dude. That guy, I don't know where he gets his energy, but it's just endless. And Cat Herd,
you know? Boris and Simona Pop from Bounty's Network, their like shtick at the beginning for the opening of Paris, it was really good. They have a really good rapport.
Did they do? So we were talking about doing a new chat protocol called Pierre to Pierre. Did they do that at all? We were talking about it at lunch beforehand with both of them, how it'd be funny to do Pierre to Pierre.
Yeah, to Pierre.
But they didn't do that? That's not...
Probably not. You know, they didn't have time to hack. They were judging and doing all these other things. It's too bad that we don't get to hack, you know? Like, we have to judge. And the hacking is fun. I think my favorite moment of the week was probably when the fire alarm went off.
I was still sleeping.
You were asleep? Yeah, I had just gotten in, and I was going down to meet someone, and I couldn't. They weren't allowing me in, and it was like, oh crap. And I guess Hudson was just about to answer some questions, and then it was like, oh, I guess this stops. But it was just cool. Everyone came out, and all of a sudden it was just like a party outside, you know.
And they got a group picture too. So if you see, and they didn't do one at the end like they did last year. So if you see a group picture of ECC, it's just everybody outside from the fire alarm.
Yeah, and the venue was gorgeous. You're just standing out there. It's it's sunlight, light rain, beautiful old building.
That was really cool.
Yeah, and at the end we went up and had champagne at the top. Oh, it was so awesome.
Did you have a chance to check out the museum? Okay, so the museum, this is my favorite thing. The museum was at the Arts de Metters or something, Arts and Measures or something. So if you go into where the workshops are, you can walk through the cafe and then get into the museum, which has all of these old engines, steam trains, they're old bat flying machines, and then they have the original Statue of Liberty inside. It's the 2-meter tall bronze version.
Wow.
So yeah, really cool space. Always conferences going on and workshops. I did a workshop. It was kind of a last minute thing, but I did a workshop. I attended a couple workshops. I learned about state channels, which I had never really dug into that much before.
The food was amazing.
The food was good.
There's so many good restaurants here. We had couscous and they're just bringing us chicken bones and meat and everything, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I was next to this Ethiopian restaurant, actually, in my place, and it was bomb, man. I went there 3 times. It's just too good, yeah. Do you have a favorite talk from FCC?
Yeah, I think it's probably the talk on 1.x. There was this really great moment where Lane was like, okay, so we're talking about state rents, which apparently is a very controversial topic, which I don't really understand why people get really mad about it. And he was like, listen, it's possible that we want to make it, obviously nothing can break on the chain, but if this doesn't get addressed, Ethereum will die within 2 years. We need to fix it. It would really suck if fixing the protocol breaks smart contracts that are out, but everybody needs to realize Ethereum's in beta. It really is. It can't be emphasized enough how experimental this stuff still is, even the well-established stuff. And that was a really perspective shift for me, because Colony does stuff just on the app layer, right? So everything that Colony does is, well, not everything. We have an off-chain thing, which is cool too, but there's so many startups and so many businesses and projects that are just building within the EVM. And so changes to the EVM, the EWASM stuff, is very important. We live inside of a nested, layered ecosystem.
I gotta say, my favorite talk is probably more was actually at ETH Paris, which is weird because I think the talks in general were like a lot more and a little better at ETH. ETH Paris was more intimate, and there was one with Alex Van de Zandt where he's talking about design, and he shows this really
we're back.
Wow, it's still live. Was it live that whole time? I just restarted the computer. Wow, this is going to be a real tough video. I don't know how this is going to work out, but hey. Let's see what happens. Yeah, look, we're back. Oh my God, that is crazy. Did you enjoy the break? Did
you guys feel that?
Did you pee? Congrats, nice work. And we're back.
This is why you always watch and keep tabs on how much memory you've got, how much RAM. You gotta. It's mental hygiene for the extended mind.
Yeah, I've been needing a restart on this computer for a good couple weeks. So my bad, guys. My bad. You know, we were talking, Griff Riff is not like a professionally funded experience. This just happens to be that we have the same name and we like to talk. So like, here we are. We'll take what we got.
There are other potential variations on this theme, on the Riff du Griff. You could also...
We're good.
We could also do... who
Alex Van de Zandt was telling me that he's interested in doing vans in a van. We just got to find a van to throw Alex Van de Zandt and Evan Van Ness and maybe some other van out there, all in the same van. They can kind of drive around, you know. Maybe they drive to Vancouver, right, and hang out in a van down by the river. You know, like the vans in a van in Vancouver by the Vancouver River. You know, I don't know. Sounds like a good time. I don't know if there's a Vancouver River.
No, it's like a bay.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Either way. We're going to start something here.
We have a plan for bands and bands.
If your names are similar, then, you know, you can have a YouTube show.
Actually, there was a talk at ETH Paris where it was Griffin Anderson. If you're watching this, we want you on the Riff. He gave a talk at ETHCC. Your name is Griffin.
Yeah.
I said first we're going to kick your ass.
Yeah, and then
there's a little bit of hazing required.
Yep, that's right.
Virgil? You too, buddy.
Another one. Another Griff.
You're coming.
Yep.
You're coming.
Yep. So, so my big takeaway so usually I was a hacker at hackathons. And this year I was a judge. And seeing it from the other side is really interesting because you realize that it's kind of a shit show on the judging side where it's a little loose and like some projects are like, there's a chance that a good project doesn't get highlighted, and you shouldn't feel bad if you weren't on that main stage. The key is like to encourage everyone, and you as a hacker, if you know you have something good, like keep working on it and keep pushing the space, and good things will come out of that. And I think it's too bad that there's such a black and white line between the team that scores an 8.8 and the team that scores an 8.6 because the 8.8 goes up on stage and gets all the credit, and the 8.6 has no idea how close they were to it, right?
No, it's especially like, you know, there were 4 groups of judges, and randomly 8 groups were assigned to each judge, or maybe more than 8, right? Maybe 10 or something, right? And then, like, if your group had a lot of really good projects,
competition,
what do you do? Like you said, your group had 3 amazing projects, and you had to pick one. My group actually had like 1 really good project and a couple other pretty good projects. But I bet like if your 3 batch were in all 3 of those, all 3 of them could have been winners, right? So there's this weird.
And judging isn't like usually it was a shit show. It has to be necessarily so, right? Like so, this is one thing. It's no dig on ETH Paris or any of these hackathons.
Right.
And
it's a hard thing.
Kartik from ETH Global talked about this. He was kudos for Kartik.
Yeah,
but he was like, we structured in this way because we don't want to have. We want to have different categories. We want to encourage people to work together, and we want to have a good spread of prizes to show that it's not about tabulating your value and then awarding for that. And I ran into this too. I set up the judging for Colony's like remote hackathon, and the amount of time it takes to build a project, right, for in-person hackathon, 36 hours, you're working on this. And the amount of time you guys had for judging was like, what?
It's like
Not very-
7
how many per
minutes
project?
Yeah,
Yeah, like
or 11
7 minutes per
projects.
project. You're trying to get a snapshot, and you're just trying to like pay attention.
And all these guys have been up for like 30, you know, they've gotten a couple hours of sleep in the last like 2 days, and they're like supposed to be pitching their project. It's like, I don't know, man. and it's so biased towards people with good designs and like,
and
you know,
delivery skills too. Even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
presentation is so important. So it's like,
So we had a team submit this this really cool hack to Geth. Actually, it was a Geth module, and the module basically lets you hot swap in the state of the smart contract. So it's like create React apps hot swapping, where you can like change a little CSS and the site just kind of like changes, like, and you can iterate on that quickly. But it's for smart contracts, so you can like get your contract to like a certain state, like deploy 5 different contracts, make a whole bunch of transactions to get it to a certain state where you know it's breaking, and then you can kind of actually iterate on the code of your contract, and it just hot swaps. It uses like a create to extension that it hot swaps the new contract in and then puts the state into it. So it's like, that's going to be powerful for developers.
That's really cool.
It was neat. Yeah.
yeah, and they actually won though.
Yeah, they did.
Right? They
Right.
won. Yeah, like same on our group. Transaction swap made a really important dev tool, or transaction flow.
I think it's TX Flow.
TX Flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made a great dev tool that I wanted. But I want to like highlight the GPU ZK Snark guy who like sped up. No one has been writing tools to speed up a GPU for compiling ZK Snarks. So like major props, like writing in CUDA. Like none of the researchers wanted to do it. Yeah, so they just want to research, right? So finally, this guy was like, you know what, I'm going to do it.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
and then there was a Crypto Kitty wedding. Like that, they didn't get even runner up because like our voting people were like, do we want to promote Crypto Kitty like weddings? It was amazing though. Like they did such a good job.
Marriage of Crypto. We promote the breeding.
Dude, Crypto Kitties have been living in
That's the
sin.
honeymoon.
They've been living in sin for years, man. We gotta like
You need to have
finally
official-
someone has
official
like
wedding.
solved this tragedy of the comments. You know, like.
My favorite, the energy from Pyromania, the
Yeah.
token burning
Yeah.
thing. So last year, if I talked like, I really like the mechanism of burning. This is a thing, and this time there were
Legit,
two projects that were like really using the mechanism of burning currency to like achieve something valuable. My favorite was the one that was like, well, so Pyromania deserves props because their website was really great. Burn it with fire.
Yeah.
They're, like really into it. But the other one was like burning tokens and then publicly declaring them in a sort of post-mortem, that it's like actually very good for the
Like
space.
an attestation.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
be like, this is the token is for this project. It didn't work for these reasons. What is it? The regulator came for me, stuff
Yeah.
like this, right? And you can put this stuff, or you could just say this is a scam. But another mechanism you could say is like, I'm burning this many tokens because I believe in this project, and I am increasing the value of the people that still have it. So like burning tokens as a kind of like a donation, but inverted. Is a cool idea.
Did you had 2 other projects that were like really good that didn't get props?
Yeah,
Do you want to talk about them really
So-
quick? Since now we have a stage.
Right.
Give them props.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
So one of them was they set it up so you could do. I can't remember. My mind is mush right now. They set it up so you. I can't remember. Let me think about it for a little bit and come back to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, who else was a judge was Offrey. I thought that was interesting.
Oh yeah.
Right? Offrey's not in the space anymore, but he was here all week, right? Yeah. He's been working on Girly. Like, he's got a lot of work to do. You know, I think he just quit. I have a feeling he just quit crypto Twitter, you know, and all the like social, because he was doing so much for the community and communications, like Reddit mod. He was a he handles all the communications for Parody, and I think he hasn't said this, but I'm getting the vibe that maybe he's just stepping back from communications, but he's still in the space.
And I don't blame him for trying to get out of Twitter, because there's a lot of drama on Twitter. Like, quit paying attention to the drama on Twitter and the trolls, and just build stuff and don't worry about it. Like, it sucks.
And if you must keep paying attention to the drama, you got to try and like add a little positivity to it. There was a guy who participated in Youth Paris, and I hope he stuck around for the end. He goes to this school, and he I had a really long conversation. It turns out he's like a Bitcoin maximalist. He's talking about Lightning, and he's like, because I think Ethereum is terrible. And I was like, you're at ETH Paris, and then all you're doing is arguing with people about how terrible Ethereum is. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to engage with you, and then let's talk about, like, why do you think what you think? Like, what are you talking about? He's talking about Lightning Network, and then I was like, well, but can Lightning run smart contracts in the same way that Ethereum can? Like, you got to see that we're all part of this kind of similar ecosystem, and by learning from each other, we can further the cause of all of the kind of shared values of that ecosystem. And I hope that he like talked to more people, figured out what projects they're building on, saw pieces of technology that aren't included in Ethereum yet or Bitcoin or anything, and saw potential there. So yeah.
Crypto maximalism is tough, man. It's really too bad.
It's really weird.
You know, I thought we were against the banks here. Like, come on, we're all working on the ledgers, man. We're working on blockchains. So who cares? Like, we have more in common than we have with the rest of the financial system. Mm-hmm. Let's unite on that front. But you know, that's okay.
Okay, I got my favorite two talks here. So it was Fiat Friends. So I'm bringing it back. So the Fiat Friends, basically, they set up a form where you type in someone's ENS, and then that generated a QR code. And you read the QR code with your phone, and it deep links into Venmo. And then Venmo hits a liquidity provider and sends crypto to someone. So it's basically like Venmo into a liquidity provider to send crypto to someone, which means that liquidity provider is like an exchange, and it's probably not legal, but they did it like in a peer-to-peer way. And I think that when we talk about onboarding, one of the biggest, like, we talk about onboarding and we think of all these tricks that we can use to make onboarding work smoothly until that point where there's like this hard stop of like KYC laws, right?
Yeah.
And the only way we can get around that is like if you can basically onboard peer-to-peer and there's like really isn't any KYC laws.
Yeah, like if you're onboarding for like $5, come on, chill out, guys.
Yep.
Chill out. And Local Bitcoins kind of does this, right? It's kind of peer-to-peer onboarding. Mm-hmm. So if you could do it with Venmo though, and make it really like a tight user experience,
right?
Oh, that's sexy.
Right. And the other one was RSA donations. So basically, if you wanted to donate to some kind of entity, you would donate basically to their RSA public key. So like you could go, say you wanted to donate to like Wikipedia or something, you would donate to Wikipedia's public RSA. You just go get their
What's an RSA?
Like the key for the SSL for your website.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So basically, SSL is still a public-private key pair, right? So you could donate to the public key of their SSL on their website, and then only their private key could sign something and submit it to the Ethereum smart contract to get the funds back.
That's
a cool idea.
Really cool.
And the solidity is really heady there, right? Because you have to write solidity to basically do an EC recover, but in RSA, not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's over my head, but so those were the two.
Yeah, this is something
I wish I would have done a better job documenting that and saying that. I forgot it. Yeah.
This is something I always heard Ethereum was going to do, is where you can have generate your own private public key pair, like style or whatever, like algo.
Curve and everything.
Yeah, so that, it's quantum resistant and all that. That's amazing that he just hacked that together when it's like, that's on the roadmap. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I learned this week that that's why the EWASM thing is important too. Is that running these novel types of cryptographic schemes, like currently, like you can do Diffie-Hellman key exchange. You can't do natively, I guess, elliptic curve cryptography or something. And EWASM makes that way more efficient, close to the metal.
Hey, sorry guys,
take care. Yeah. What else we got? Hey, we're doing a live stream.
sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. So what else we got?
So I wanted to talk for a second about the boat party, which was pretty sweet for the burner wallet. The boat party itself was like bad UX in terms of it was hard to get to and you had to pay to get in.
What boat party?
So there was a party
the
on
rave?
the boat, the rave on the boat. Yeah. So, but we did another burner thing where people used burners to buy beer, and it worked pretty well. The UX that was surprising was that basically everyone showed up and already had a burner, and that was the thing I didn't expect. I'm not like usually I'm trying to do adoption and get my my name out there, and it was like, all right, all these people already have one. But then we were also handing out private wallets at the door, so you you would scan it, and instead of just seeding a wallet and coming up, it would basically let you withdraw. And I hadn't gone through one of these practices before where people were withdrawing kind of in mass. And what I noticed was I didn't do anything with gas. Like basically we had $6.25 or $6 and something on the card, and they tried to withdraw the entire amount, and it jammed up because you didn't have gas. And obviously that's stupid, bad UX, and I should have been out ahead of that. But it's just like, we have to iterate on these things, and this was the iteration.
And you wouldn't have discovered it unless you had you know, people showing up with burner wallets. Right. They wouldn't have had burner wallets if you hadn't have experimented previously and done the onboarding stuff. So that's great.
I mean, obviously, I don't have like a good purview of everybody's actions in the space, but I don't know any wallet or project that has done as much actual like on the ground user testing as Burner Wallet. And you guys have only been around for what, like 4 months or something crazy?
We're like forced to do it though, right?
Yeah.
Like every week before ETH Denver, and then now after ETH Denver, people are like, let's have a Burner Wallet event, so that I just get all this awesome user testing.
Yeah, man, you guys
cool.
are doing crazy.
If you had like, I don't know, like a little like, if you want to throw your own Burner Wallet event,
oh yeah,
we're
working on
like
that.
this. On this repo, this is where you set. You got the okay.
I did this like future roadmap thing, and there's like all these 3 epochs, and I'll be pitching it tonight. Basically, the first one is conferences and making it white labeled and basically decentralized, so anybody can do it.
If you want to beta test that, my buddy Michael works with Giveth. I don't know if he's already contacted you. Contacted Rich, I think, to try to do this in Toronto. Just like give people the Burner Wallet experience and have them buy stuff. I don't know if where he's at in that, but he's trying for it. It's in like 2 weeks. Yeah,
yeah. Like these guys basically came to me the day of the event saying they wanted to do it.
Oh god!
And they pulled it off. They printed 200 paper wallets in Paris without any of the hardware to do that. So
wow.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Cool. And the space is beautiful.
Oh yeah, man. This like what is we got corporate art behind us? Where are we, man?
Like, it's not corporate art. It's great art. So I think the story, and this is told secondhand, is that the guy who founded this, you can Google the space is called 42. There's one in Paris. There's one in I think there's one in California somewhere. I think it's like it's a franchise. But the guy was like in jail and met this other guy, and they came up with the idea of
a jail buddy.
Yeah, and so when he's a billionaire. So then afterwards he left, and then they like implemented it. And basically it's a school. This one does only computer science. And it's like a choose your own adventure degree. So you start off with a pool of projects that you can work on that are like the inner level, like the main first level. And then you follow a path according to like different levels, and you just keep doing projects in different areas. So that could be, you know, some artistic design work or like learning to code. I don't know exactly what the total offering is, but then you ascend levels, and it's this decentralized school where you are both a teacher and a student. So everybody also, once you get out to the outer levels, you have to teach classes for people in Ottawa. So it's really cool. Maps so perfectly with the Ethereum like mentality. Like people are all teaching, people learning, people are hacking, people are judging. People used to hack, now they judge.
People are rioting. There's there's a like
only on Saturdays.
Yeah,
they're very organized.
We riot on Saturday. Rage quit like Mug, you know. No, I was going to the Eiffel Tower with my girlfriend, right, and we just couldn't get off. Like we had to go walk. We had to walk forever because the trains were shut down because of rioting, and so then we went out. Like, oh shit, where's the riots? You know, this is awesome. Who cares about the Eiffel Tower? We didn't go up the Eiffel Tower. We were gonna meet Taylor from My Crypto, Taylor and Kevin and Harry, who by the way is like an unknown superstar. This guy Harry, he's like behind the scenes hacking all the hackers, all the phishers, and all the people who put up fake websites and like steal people's money. My Crypto just pays him to go hack all these guys. Yeah, White Hat. He's like the most active member of the White Hat.
Contracted White Hat.
Yeah. And so seeing Taylor, I think it was like Women's Day or something like that, right? She brought her daughter to the panel and gave a great panel on product market fit at 9 in the morning with her. It was awesome. Props to her for that.
Yeah. And she the baby was taking the mic like I want to say something, you know, like I got ideas. User experience sucks.
Yeah, exactly. So in my talk, I had my son with a bucket over his head, and I'm like, this is kind of what user experience is like in Ethereum right now.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
For sure.
But overall, the whole event was awesome. It was amazing. I learned so much. Paris was great. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was good. Well, maybe we should just
I think
call
that's
it.
it. Yeah,
that's cool.
we should wrap this riff.
Yeah.
Griff Riff.
Yeah.
Live
to Griff. Oh yeah. Sorry about that break in the middle. I hope you had some time to take a break, take a pee, maybe even more.
We'll see you for the next riff
Yeah,
in Cape Town.
Yeah.
Cape Town?
Are you guys going?